So, good evening everyone and welcome to Formula 2 action here in Japan. This weekend we are driving in Japan, in Suzuka like I said, and currently we have only 8 drivers in the lobby, so I just told to the chat that this might be the last F2 race of the season, because if we are going down and down and down all week, next week we are going to have 5 or under amount of drivers. So 5 or less, and that is not racing anymore, that is just 3 points for people. So and now Larry has left the session. Well, at this point when we are waiting for Larry to join back, let's show the standings. So the standings have changed dramatically, with Puhkuli has taken the lead. Osgood second, Teamset, who is not racing today, is third. And if this will be the last race of the season, it means that Teamset won't get the F1 season next season if Elppu or Road or even Larry overtakes him. So I say let's go with 8 drivers, because we can't wait anymore, we are late. So we need to deal with these 8 drivers. And that is very easy points for people who joined today. And then the weather forecast looks like this. So F2 will have clear and qualifying in race 1, and then in race 2 there will be light cloud conditions. Of course the game dynamic system can change the weather a bit. So let's see how it will decide then. But in a short moment, 3 seconds, and the lobby is starting to load to the race in Japan. But like I said, this might be the last F2 race if this keeps going on. If F1 stays in over 15 drivers, it's good. But the F2, second week in a row with 10 or less drivers. So yeah, that's never a good sign then. But yeah, we admins need to make a decision that do we continue F2 or do we just take all the drivers in the F1 race on Sunday, or how we are going to deal with this. But we can't continue like this with 8, maybe even 6 drivers next week. That is not enough. But we are ready in the qualifying lobby. It is time to begin another week of racing. This week in Suzuka. No one going to track yet, already 1 minute gone now. There's first one going. It is Fresh Matti who is going to the track. Hopefully more people join during the qualifying, but the qualifying will run with 8 drivers only. So at least there won't be much action. I think from these people, Osgood or Puhkuli will take the pole position, I expect. It's Puhkuli or Osgood who will claim the pole. Every driver apart Georgie has left the garage. Georgie is still in the pit lane. And very soon we will get the first drivers out there. Everyone else on the softs, apart Rappel, he's trying the mediums. Of course, you don't lose much, there's only 8 drivers, so if you're 8, everything can happen in the race. And actually, if there's only 8 drivers in the race, it means that the driver who finishes last will start pole position. So if we run with 7 drivers, it would be a bad thing, they would be completely swapped positions. But luckily we have at least those 8 drivers, so we don't need to start making any rule changes during the race. And with the 8 drivers we can go to swap. 8 goes first and first goes 8. If there was 9 drivers, that would be very unlucky for the last driver, because he would start 9th and everyone else would swap. So... But now Puhkuli will go to the lap. Freshmati has started this run earlier. Let's look at him. Very well through the S's, and now into the very fast right-hander. On the limits, very well coming, and then the second right, and full throttle to the higher pin. Long left, and then full throttle all the way down the spoon curve. Looked like bad exit, but not sure about the lap times though. Touching the cross here and there and here. That was a very wide line for the exit of spoon curve. Now very straight, very long run in the 130R. One of the most famous corners on this track. 112.4 in the second sector in total. And then the final chicane, very important exit for the main straight in the race specifically. A little bump which will be removed in the next game, and Freshmati puts 129.0 on the board. Then Rappel will be the next driver on the medium, so I'm not expecting him to be quicker. Nope, not even close. Geordie is having an outlap, so then Larry is the driver to cross the line with the time. Larry goes nowhere. Osgood's putting 128.8 on the board. Then Elpu slowing down, so have failed his lap. Also Puhkuli, same thing. Trying again. And Geordie also trying on the mediums. That's very understeery looking car. There's rubble on the grass. Or on the sand actually. That car is looking so understeered that it looks like Williams. In real life Williams. It was a very wide line. How he didn't get an invalidation of that. That was a very wide line. Bad exit. Very wide line and bad exit. First drivers boxing now, after their runs. But Geordie will be having good looking lap. That has been actually a very slow lap, because the pole time is already gone, and he has not even reached the final chicane yet, so that has been a terrible lap for him and his boxing. Of course, it was a bad lap. Puhkuli has tried again. Same thing, the pole time nearly gone, and he's not even in the final corner, so... Yeah, he boxed. There's a lot of debris actually in the pit entry, so... Might that be a good thing? Larry starting another lap. That's a very smooth corner. That's even smoother than me. Larry's having a good setup then. But now the car's sliding a lot. Bianchi corner. I say it Bianchi corner, you know why. Well, you should know why. You are not an F1 fan if you don't know what happened there in 2014 in extremely wet conditions. Sutil Tractor and Bianchi, that cannot be a good combo. And it was not. If you don't know what I'm talking about, you haven't watched F1 a lot, and you don't know anything about F1 then. Maybe one of the most famous accidents in the 2010s last century. Very smooth spoon curve. Now long run to 130R and then to the chicane, which is important for the final corner. Like I said, the bump in the final corner is no longer in the game next year, so it will be much easier to go this bump right here, that bump right there is no longer in the game next time, so Larry improving his time just a bit, 3/10 off, but it's not enough to improve his position, so he stays 4th, 1 second away from Osgood. Then it's Georgie who is going for the lap next. No one else looks like having a lap here. Yeah, everyone on the out lap, so Georgie will be the next driver go across the line. He's on out lap now. Still trying on those same mediums. Flodelpu having a lap actually here, so... nothing. He has abandoned the lap earlier, so... I take that back. With 8 drivers there's not much action. Everyone's on a lap at the same time, and then everyone's having an out lap at the same time, so there's all the time action or non-action, depending on the time. Elpo taking slipstream from his teammate Osgood. Or that gap is just a bit too big, so he won't get it. It's a bit too wide there. Of course, if you go wide a bit too much in 1S, it will disturb all other S's remaining, and as we can see, the line was bad. Touching the grass, and I would pit at this point, take the softs. It's only 25% race, so it doesn't matter too much. It's only 25% race, so I suggest you to take the softs. You're struggling on those mediums a lot. Then Puhkuli behind, having a soft lap time coming. In that corner actually the inside line is not the best, the outside line looks like to be the best. At least if you want better exit, then the outside line for that corner is a bit better, 2/10 better option. Going way too wide there, way too much understeering there, and that's a lap gone. Oh, there's road into barriers in sector 1. I didn't mean to come to spectate him, but at least we captured a crash. Now Fresh Matti trying to take slipstream of Puhkuli. Thank God Puhkuli not making any surprising moves. That would have been a big accident and Puhkuli's fault because, well, Fresh Matti was on the lap and he was not. So, luckily no damage made. Fresh in the pits. Scoots cross the line, hitting the barrier very hard in there. Oh, luckily no simulation damage. That would have been a terrible hit to the barrier. You can't go into the pits. You have gone too far from it. Puhkuli going for another lap. That was a dramatic hit to the boards. There's no one on the lap, so we can have an instant look at that. Here we can see Fresh Matti coming. There's Fresh Matti boxing, and then comes Osgood. He loses the control of his car a bit, touches the rear very hard. Luckily there was no simulation damage, that would have been a terrible mistake. And his session would be over. Luckily no, he's able to continue. Elpu and Puhkuli only drivers without a lap time yet. Will Puhkuli finish his lap? He's on an overtake, so at least he's doing something. 112.4 in total, so that is kind of Fresh Matti's pace. He's only 1/10 behind, so this should be a good lap time coming. Puhkuli crossed the final corner, the bump. Sometimes takes people out, as we saw. It took Osgood out. Puhkuli goes second fastest. Only 1 point difference and 13 milliseconds to Fresh Matti. And now it is Larry starting his next lap here. But Giordia is really struggling on those mediums, so he really should bid for those softs. And then try again. There's only 5 minutes to go, so it's 1 or maximum 2 runs if you're very quick. So, not much time left in this session. Touching across there, going way off the road, immediately cancelling the lap and trying again. So I think Elpu will be starting his next lap. So we will follow him. That bump looks very dramatic. You need to make a setup to avoid it, and that may cost it in the other side of the track. So luckily they take it off in the next game, so we don't need to worry about them. It's a very smooth first corner. Oh, back end a bit slippery in there. Lack of downforce. Actually, if you touch the curb there, you will completely lose control. So that's one place where you don't really want to touch the curb. I think everywhere else the curb is okay, but in that corner it's deadly. So it is not good thing to touch the curb there. Was Larry having a lap? Yeah, nope. He's starting his lap now. Road on an out lap, so we don't care about that. We just want to spectate Elpu, giving him some pressure to perform in front of you, all viewers on YouTube. With 8 drivers, the risk that you are being looked at is higher, so there's a higher chance that an accident will be captured with less drivers. Here comes Elpu, finally getting his lap on the board. He puts himself 4th. Top 4 very tight, and then the big jump to next driver's road. Larry, Rappel and Giordia completely out of pace. 2.5 minutes to go. Every driver apart Larry, Road will go again. Elpu might not have time. It's all about second. Does those 3 guys have time to do another lap? At least Larry is putting all in. 112.4. Oh, he's going 112.3. That's actually a very good second sector. Improving by a lot. He's already out of ERS, so the final corner will be terrible. At least the exit, he's in like non-ERS for the final corner, and it costs a lot. He improves, becomes 5th, and makes the top 5 even tighter. And now Road is in there. If we could get all of 8 drivers within half a second, it would be amazing. Only 8 drivers, but still everyone within half a second. And now Road is starting another lap. So he will go again. This will be his final lap. He won't have time to make another one. Elpu pitting, he won't have time, that's it. For the qualifying. Every other driver going out now, so they are on the limit of time. They have like a 10 seconds gap to the flag. They reach the final corner when the checkered flag comes out. Puhkuli doesn't have to care about that. He starts his lap now. Oskuch also. Fresh Matti is in hurry. 1 minute to go. Also, Rhodes having the same thing. Actually, Rhodes on a lap here, so let's look at this first, and then it's Puhkuli. No, Rhodes on not on a lap. He's abandoning it. Rhodes should do the same. He's done for disqualifying, so it's all about Puhkuli. Giordia retiring from the final place, so it means that he will be starting 8 with 2.8 seconds off the pace. And yes, he will start on the mediums as well as Rappel. Yes, Rappel will be starting with the mediums too. So, Rappel and Giorgia will be leading the race at some point. but the gap is unknown. .15 seconds to go. Both McLarens crossing the line now. Just in time, 5 seconds. Was literally just in time. 3 seconds. He actually went into the pits, but still 3 seconds. That is quite close to the limits. Puhkuli crossed the line. Where he will go? He will go pole position with the same margin as he was before. Behind, now he's with the same margin in front. So now Osgood is an improvement. He's 2/10 down at the moment. He pits. How about Fresh Matti? Only Matti and Larry remaining. From which of these two? Larry will finish his lap first. Larry crossed the line. Oh, he will crash out. And Fresh Matti also retires from the session at the same time. So here's the grid. Puhkuli, Osgood, Matti, Alpu, Larry, Rose, Rappel and Kirje. 28.7, that's quite good lap to put on the board. But yeah, in a short moment we go in Japan, Suzuka. In a minute the drivers will go cross the line when we start the race, with Puhkuli leading the pack, Osgood second, Matti third, Elpo fourth, Larry fifth, Road 6, Rappel 8 and Kirje finishes the grid by being 8. So in seconds we will go. Puhkuli actually has a big gap to the cars behind. And also Matti has overtook Oskuts during the formation lap, so. Let's see, will the lights be broken or are they working? They will come the rest of the grid. That's a set. The lights are broken, these are not the real lights, so we will put on now. And we are underway in Suzuka. Let's see what kind of start they get. Good start. Oh, there's already Alpo into the boards. And that's a dramatic start for him. There's a lot of damage, his trouble spinning around. Also Matti, so only 5 drivers surviving the first corner. I didn't see anything what happened in the start. Oh, there goes Gertie, so only 4 drivers surviving. And we are having a virtual safety car. Complete carnage on the first lap. Well, only 4 drivers survived the first sector without any issues. Let's have a replay of that race start. So here goes. There's the first corner, Puhkuli going very well. Oh, this actually Matti takes out Elpu. Then someone takes out Matti and Rappel. And then Georgia spins on those very worn mediums. There we can see. Oh, my parents disturbing me in the room, giving me another pizza in front of me, having to eat again during the live stream. This is kind of getting a kind of normal for me to eat during these live streams. So, but in Finland this time is so perfect for dinner that I cannot do anything for it. I will mute myself for a second once I eat, so you don't have to listen to me eating from pizza. Every driver boxing, so in Suzuka you will lose 23 seconds in the pit lane in normal conditions. So everyone taking the mediums and of course going to the end. So now if there's a safety car, actually these drivers who crashed might be winners. So nothing settled yet. Just right away some overtaking action behind in there. Yeah, that's just actually lagging, so there's no real overtakes done. DRS is getting enabled from this lap. There's only one DRS zone in Suzuka, and it's into the first corner, so very dangerous DRS zone actually. I have seen many incidents in the first corner by the EA, by myself, by my friends. I have seen a lot of incidents in the first corner, so that's maybe the most highest chance getting an accident on this track, the first corner after DRS. Puhkuli going very wide. I think I eat at this point once I spectate the race at the same time, and I will open my microphone if there's something critical to tell for you. Osgood's catching up to Puhkoli a bit. Oh, Puhkoli having a very wide lines. The softs look like they are dead already. Gap to the pit guys is so big that they should come in front of them. Top 4 should be current read. The gap is bouncing between 4/10 and 6/10. Router having to look at this battle a bit more further away. These are actually the two drivers who are fighting for the F2 championship at the moment, and if this is the last race in reality we don't know yet, but this might be the last race of the season in F2 side, so being in front in the championship after this race might be critical. You might become an F2 champion by winning this race. Larry spins in the spoon curve. So it's better maybe to take a little risk in this race and maybe getting a F2 champion than... Ooh! That was very close to the barrier there. It was a very scary moment. And now with the DRS trying to go around the outside, maybe not gonna make it. Not gonna make it. Now gap bouncing again in the corners, so looks like Puhkoli has a cornering based setup and Osgood has straight line speed focused setup. That's the curb I mean you don't want to touch. That's a big no for touching that curb. It will catch you out very easily. And your race is in the barriers if you make that mistake. As we can see, everyone else going till the finish. Gerdia and Rappel will have to struggle on those softs till the end. That might be an issue. Hopefully not, but that can be an issue. If you are not a tire manager, that will be an issue. Osgood's coming very close with the slipstream, but can't overtake it. The exit is critical. Osgood's in the pits. No speeding, that's good. Let's see how the stop goes. Of course, medium's on. He stays fourth. So now Puhkoli has to do some hot laps, and that's not looking like a hot lap, that's looking like a struggling lap. All air is used. Road has visited a sandbox. It's a straight penalty for corner cutting. Pushing so hard. "23 seconds is the gap you lose." And Osgood's already within 20 seconds, so Osgood should easily fly past. Gap should be 3 or 4 seconds after the pit stop. And now Puhkoli into the pits. That was very close to be a speeding. In the pits, medium's on. Also Lorry pitting on the same lap. That was a speeding. Clear speeding. That's a 5 seconds to be served. Osgood going past Puhkoli, like I said, 3 seconds is the magic number. And the gap is 2.5. And now Road leading the race on the softs. Safety car now would be amazing for him. Road will pit this lap. No, he won't. Looked like he was coming to the pits, but he does not, so maybe one more lap and then on the mediums. Surprised that he's not struggling on those tires. The car looks going very well then. Or still. Buckley was struggling already 3 laps ago. Sure, they're getting a 3-second penalty. Buckley losing time to Oskuch at the moment. By these results, the championship gap would be 5 points for Oskuch after race 1. Now Road entered the pits. And Oskuch were taking the fastest lap, so now it'd be 6 points for Oskuch. These drivers can actually end up in tight points. So. Rota is still third, after visiting the sandbox. All the drivers are on the different side of the track. Kirby has also visited the sandbox, but nothing too dramatic. There's a wing damage, so they had touch with someone. PMP might come to race with us, so if you somehow can. So we would have 9 drivers for the race. Here he is looking for the fastest lap. And because he had the wing damage, he had the box. Final position won't give him the point. It has been one of the most boring races for a while. So we admins really need to talk about suspending the F2 season and going till the end with these results, not racing the rest of the season. At least there's no retirements yet, so that's a good thing. Here they're taking a pole position here for the next race. Look at the gaps. 3, 15, 4, 4, 13, 8, 13. One of the most boring races, to be honest, I have ever commentated in any league. I have commented for 2 or 3 leagues. 3 leagues. This must be the most boring race I have ever commentated. But hopefully the race 2 will give us more action. This race has had historically less penalties. I can remember only 4 penalties. So final lap of this race. Osgood's taking a quite easy lead. The 3 seconds Buckley has, there was someone saying that the 3 seconds will be taken away. It doesn't matter in this race. Because if the penalty affects in the first race, then it will be rewarded in, or I say rewarded, in the next race, but if it doesn't matter, it doesn't matter, so there's no need to reward anything if it doesn't affect. If you drop position in this race 1, then you will be rewarded in the race 2 by taking the amount of time you lost away from the next race results. But at the moment, the 3-second penalty is not affecting. There's 8, fairly. Go to the match class. Oskuts taking it fastest lap on the final lap, so it means Oskuts leads the standings by 5 points, maybe. Yeah, I guess he leads the championship by 5 points, going to the maybe last race of F2 series in this game. So next race becomes critical. Larry will drop to 5th. Matti will be 5th. Matti will be 4th, Larry 5th. Rappel 6th, Elpu 7th, and Geordi 8th, that's quite sure. Rappel 6th. Elpu 7th. Yes, and Geordi will be 8th. And then the grid is swept. So Geordi pole position, Oskuts last place. That's it for the race 1, and then we start preparing for the next race, which starts after we make the swaps. Hopefully our host won't do it forever. Now I take all the screenshots I need. There goes. And very shortly we continue to the race number 2. Well, Team Set is racing, so we'll be having 9 drivers, from which Team Set will be 9th place, and then the top 8 of the race will be swept. So Team Set is here. And now for the host. Hold on a minute. I need to send the host a screenshot. He should take them by himself. Shortly we go. Five seconds is a yoke. Yes. Just a couple of seconds and we go. Soon we will be ready. From here we can see the way the forecast is saying the light cloud for the race 2, so I kind of hope that we'll be seeing rain in the race. I kind of hope. The drivers won't, but I will. When are we ready? Now we are ready. Now we are waiting for the team set. "13 laps to go." Maybe this whole season 13 laps to go. If we decide to suspend the F2 season, depending on the admin's decisions. But if we are having only this 8-9 drivers, it is not enough. 8 is the minimum because of our sweeping rules, so if we are going under 10 drivers, it's a risk. So we can't go under 10 pretty much all the time. 10 is the minimum amount. Then it's no longer a league race. If there's all the time less drivers. But race 2 beginning shortly. 13 laps in light cloud conditions. We are set. Formation lap. And yes, the team set is in correct position, so also the team set starting last place because not participating into the race 1, so Georgia getting a pole position by finishing 8. Oh no, that's not good for the tire wear. That is not good for the tire wear. Georgia has left the session. He had a pole position and he's leaving the session. I think he forgot that this was not a race start. That was a formation lap. I think he forgot. It was one of the most biggest mistakes I have seen in my life. Leave a session with pole position after spinning at the formation lap. Oh boy. That coast might cause issues in there. If people don't realize that it's a coast. Well, then kind of pole position goes for Elpu. Georgia's coast will be in pole. But it doesn't matter if this is the view that we're going to see at the start. Oh no, this is the pole from where we are going to see the safety to restart. Thank God, no. We can have something else than that. Cardi's Coast on the pole position. The lights are broken again. There goes the Coast. Rappel getting a drive-through penalty for jump start. Yeah, there was a clear jump start by Rappel actually. I think he looked at the Coast and it was all wrong. I need to ask that on Sunday what went wrong in the comment box. He can say it for everyone in the stream. This time a clean start. People learned from the race 1 start that it's not a good thing to go aggressive. Oh, there's 3 wide moment going. This time a very clean start. First down the inside, then outside, can't do it. Oh, there's someone in the wall. It is Larry completely cutting the traffic. That 5 seconds is a joke. That 5 seconds is a joke. Rappel pitting for serve the penalty. And Fresh Mati, how did he get 5 seconds? How did he get 5 seconds? I don't know what's no longer happening in this race. Here we can see the race start. Was very clean this time. Not much action. My whole delta system is broken, so I cannot see any gaps. Hopefully it fixes. Oh, there's Matti! There's Matti spinning all the way around. Dangerously in the middle of the road. That was a bad mistake by Matti. Rappel seeing and door opening. Hope we get that on the video or on the replay. That was a quite late saving. But let's hope. Elpo putting on the fastest lap. Let's see if we get that on the video. Yes, we got an actually perfect timing. There we can see him spinning all the way around, facing the wrong way and trying to recover. That was a bad mistake by Fresh Matti from second place. Teams head close to Osgood's. If Osgood's leading the championship by 5 points, he can easily secure the championship here by finishing 5 points away from Puhkuli. By these results, the gap would be 0 actually, I think. It would be 0 by the current points. So then we need to follow the rules. Check the wins, second places, third places. And then going from the first race. Oh, there's Larry in the grass, actually taking out Osgood, Elpu. Taking out Elpu, luckily not Osgood, and we have no safety car. No, we have no safety car. Larry again. Taking some people out. So, again, Puhkuli and Osgood in the lead. By these results, the gap would stay the same, and Puhkuli, for now, if the season ends, will be crowned as F2 champion. Team said, racing in the one race, being third, that should be enough for the F1 seat, if people don't score enough. Fresmati again spinning. If this causes a safety car, it might be a penalty because he's not spinning his car quickly enough. Yeah, he's just trying to spin the car around, so if this causes a safety car by the game, that will be a penalty causing move. Oh, Puhkuli lost it! Puhkuli's lost it! And that causes a safety car! Osgood will be leading the championship after this race. Puhkuli has made a dramatic mistake, and that may cost him the F2 championship. That was not Matti's fault, that safety car, that was completely clearly the crash. Puhkuli has crashed out once Gerdy is joining back in the session. The safety car, Puhkuli out from the race, first retirement of the weekend, in the worst possible place. And by these stands, Osgood is leading the championship anyway. So Osgood will be crowned as F2 champion if this will be the last race. We are not sure, so we need to say professional champion. Because we admins make the decision about suspending the season tomorrow, maybe this evening or on Sunday before F1 race. But we should have information about that into the F1 stream, so if you want to know that information first, we will announce the continuing on F2 in the stream on Sunday, so we will figure that out before Sunday and we will announce it in the stream right away at the start, so be in there 4 PM UK time on Sunday. We will announce that F2 thing in the first needed things at the beginning of the stream. So specifically F2 drivers, you will get a lot of information in the stream, and of course the information will be in the Discord and PlayStation chats after the race, but if you want to hear it right away when it's announced, be in the 4 PM UK on Sunday. Of course, every people now boxing, because whatever you do behind the safety car, there is actually, I forgot to put a board on, there's a safety car deployed. And you lose only 12 seconds if you pit under the safety car. Alfa Romeo not ready for the pit stop. Let's see the incident. There is Matti spinning around. And here comes Puhkuli. Perfectly on board. So we can see he touches the curb, the deadly curb, straight in the wall. Gerdy is joining at the same time, Puhkuli into the wall. And that's end of his race and maybe F2 championship. Small mistake, which costs a lot. And by that, Puhkuli is out from this race. And Osgood's leading after the stop, so he can easily win the championship by 20 points, maybe even 30 points. 30 points. So, that's a big strike for Puhkuli's championship hopes. In the worst case, if people score enough points, Puhkuli might drop away from the F1 zone. Top 3 drivers as we can see, these standings were in force before the race. We are now in the race 2. As we can see, if we remember, Osgood is leading the championship by 5 points before this race, and now Puhkuli is out from the race. So it means Osgoods will lead this championship. Team set is very close. Also Gaiaming and Elppu are very close. So in the worst case, Puhkuli will completely drop away from the points. That's the correct board. In the worst case, Puhkuli will drop out from the points or top 3 points completely, and that way a minor mistake, if this will be the last race, will cost him a lot. And he won't be starting as an F1 driver next season. So he will have to drive at least half a season more in F2, because next season we are going to make 2 promotions on the mid-season break after 11 races and after the season of all 22 rounds. Only 2 promotions coming up next season. Midpoint of the season and at the end of the season. We have to establish the grid a little bit, so quick drivers into F1, slow drivers into F2 this year, so that's why we made a lot of promotions. But next year, when we have more drivers in the league, we will search for more, of course. We will be having again some drivers in F1 and some drivers in F2. Even if they are dominant drivers, they will stay in F1 or in F2 as long as they're in halfway, and then they will get into F1. Only 2 promotions, doesn't matter how OP you are, only 2 promotions during the season. You will have to participate in the F1 races if you want to score points in F1, and when you get into F1 as a full-time driver, you can use those points as an advantage in the championship. Safety car should be pitting at the end of this lap. There are no penalties being given during the safety car. If Elppu can grind a couple of positions, he could overtake Puhkuli in the championship. Team set would stay there, he will pass Puhkuli. Actually, Puhkuli received 18 points. Puhkuli received 18 points from the race, and team said if he gets the same amount, he will stay behind Puhkuli. But if team set is second, well, I don't know how the stands will go. I will need to make the standings tonight. Of course I will do them, but I need to do them before I say anything. I have already lost a match. There goes lap 8. 5 laps to go in this Suzuka Grand Prix. Team said, of course, trying to get the win. If he gets the win, he can potentially overtake Puhkuli in the standings. Currently, fastest lap is going for Osgoods before the safety car, but let's see how it goes afterwards. 5 laps to go. There are so many drivers also scoring points in this race too that Puhkuli's 18 points might not be enough from this weekend. Yes, Matti in the barriers. Also Rappel, taking Rappel out into the same go, so we have 2 victims, Matti and Rappel. Hopefully I get some footage. I didn't see that, so we need to see some footage from the drivers. But 2 retirements in the same go, 6 runners to go. So now if you have the fastest lap, you need to be within top 5 in order to score the extra point. Hopefully there was not another intentional crash, because I think Fresh Matty already this season has 1 intentional on this way disqualification. If he makes another one, he will get league ban. So, at least temporary league ban. but he will get a lead ban from the next intentional crash. Road struggling. Road has a good opportunity to score, I think 30 points this weekend. That's only 12 more there's wing damage. That is only 12 more than Puhkuli, so it might not be enough in the long run. But at least he has a good chance to score some points with Puhkuli crashing out, because this race can decide F1 drivers for the next season. Road has wing damage, so rip that. Larry did not brake check, he was just slower because of the tires, so it was kind of no one's fault. Maybe Road's by being too fast behind. But that was not a clear brake check, so at least in my side, on my pole, if Road's pole had a clear brake check, then we need to investigate it, but at least for now there was no brake check and everything's fine. Now Elpu and Guerrier fighting here side by side in the 130. They are running on the grass, touching a bit, and oh. Yeah, I'm unable to replay you. If you have video footage, make sure to send it. And there goes Guerrier, not leaving space at all. Well, I am unable to replay you, Rappel, because I didn't see the accident. I just saw a lot of debris flying all the way around, and I saw you both retiring. I didn't say anything else. He took me out first, he took my position. Okay, if you have any video footage, send it for me, or put it to YouTube and then to Discord video reports. Unfortunately, we can't give the P7 back because it's retirement. And you didn't run at least 90% of the race. You need to run at least 11 laps. If you retire on lap 12 or 13, you can receive the point, but unfortunately we can't give you the P7 back in the race results. And well, no, there's no way. Give it the position back, unfortunately, at the DNF mark. But hope you have the video footage, so we can see that and investigate it later. These dudes haven't actually even looked at the last week videos, so we maybe should do that tomorrow if we have time, or Sunday morning if the summer holidays has started, at least in Finland, or start tomorrow. Tomorrow is the last school day before 2.5 months long holidays, 10 weeks of holidays straight. The summer holiday will start in Finland, so we admins have a lot of time, or should have more time, with this only gaming, quarantine, and and videos. So well, let's see. 3 laps to go. Larry trying to get team set. Osgood's going to easy win. He has just smashed the fastest lap, so he would take another 26 points. Maximum points from this weekend and easily going to F1. Larry's really aggressive over the gaps. Not surprised if the game gives him penalty. That's a very aggressive line. Yeah, but Rappel, if you have any video footage, upload it to YouTube and then send the link to the video reports on Discord. Actually, I edit it a bit very soon. Actually, I could do it maybe here now. Rappel has left the session. There was also another information. Oh, there's Larry spinning around. That was not a good thing. I just created on our Discord server, I just created a text channel named F2. There's F1 video reports and F2 video reports now. So F1 F1 reports to F1 video reports and F2 race actions into F2 video reports. So that way we should know which race is there. And we know which tier it is. Elpo 5 seconds exceeding track limits, that's not a good thing. Final lap of this race. Potentially final lap of the F2 series in this game. And we may continue at the end of July. When schools are nearly... There's only 2 or 3 races before the schools continue, at least in Finland. I think 3 races before we get back to school, so... There's 11-week break, I expect. 10 or 11-week break for F2 tier, if it ends here. And Larry spinning completely. Final lap, spinning out. Giving Elpo some free points and also Road. Easy 3rd position. Oh, they are both without the wing. Or Georgia should be able to take the P5. Oh no, no Larry, no! If you don't have a front wing, our rules are saying that you need to give the position for the others. That was a dirty move, I saw that will be a penalty. But Osgood's crossed the line, winning the race with the fastest lap. And potentially pre-crowded as an F2 World Champion. Team said 2nd. 18 points, so plus minus 0 with Puhkuli's points. Elpo crashed in the final corner! Elpo crashed out in the final corner to the pit entry wall. At least he done 90% of the race, so he will be finished P6. He will finish P6 and get the points. Yeah, Elpo will be 6th in this race, 8 points for him. That's a bad retirement, he lost 4 points just before the line. Let's see the replay footage very soon. Let's see the replay footage. There we can see that. What do you say now? Viewers, we need your decision. Was this intentional or not? Was that move intentional or not? We need your help. That's the end of this race. Let's show the replay file again. There was an incident and here we can see the replay again. So this is here's the thing. So Larry without front wing, our rules say that you should give the position because you don't have front wing. Here we can see bang bang boom. Taking out and that way gaining the position. Guys, what do you think? Every viewer there comment. Because we need your decision here. I'm not sure which one that was. We need to see Larry's point of view first. Yeah, because that was not the only thing he done in this race. So Larry's having a risk of getting disqualification if that wasn't intentional. the 5 penalty points at this end of the season. And if this is the last race of the season, that 5 penalty points will be transported for the next season. Because last 2 rounds, the penalties from last 2 rounds, or at least from the last round, will be transported in the next season. So in F1 also, if you race in Abu Dhabi penalties will be transported into F1 next season in the Australian Grand Prix. So, well, that was not a good decision by Larry. Anyway, we are done with the stream today, so thanks for watching. We make the decision about F2 continuing, will we suspend the season or not. We will make the decision with the admins before the F1 race. So if you want to hear the announcement in the first people, make sure to join the lobby. Not the lobby. Make sure to join the stream as soon as it begins. At 4 PM UK, we will announce the continuing on F2. All F2 drivers are still allowed to participate in F1 race. Just let me know that you want to participate, so we'll give you an invite. We will investigate that Larry's case later on this week, and we will announce it also with the penalties all at the same time. So, thanks for watching. F2 announcement and F1 race on Sunday 4 PM UK.